Hi guys, welcome to Becodewala. I welcome you to my new amazing project, and in this project we are going to see how to build a landing page for a blog website. We are going to build a landing page for our blog website using React, TypeScript, and for the icons we are going to use Lucid React, and for the animation we are going to use Framer Motion. So Framer Motion is very easy and it is specially made for the React. So let's refresh our page and see the animation on your page. So you can see that the how cool animation are on the hero section. So when I refresh, the animation appear on this, and when I hover on it, the animation appears. So you can see that the how beautiful navbar we have created, and then we have a search bar. So when you click on search bar, it will open the input box smoothly and it will close. And when you scroll it, you can see that the beautiful animation of the cards, right? And these cards have their own tags like technology, lifestyle, travel, and the share icon. And then we have this beautiful text and the read more button, right? When you scroll it, you can see that this card also have a animation from the bottom to top, and this card also have a similar properties. Just we have to change the data. Once we have created the component for this, we can just change the data, right? So when you go down, you can see that the beautiful animation of this card also for the categories section, right? Then we have a beautiful footer, and in this footer we have a details about your website and the social links and the quick links and the categories section. Then we have a copyright section. Then not only this, we have made this responsive for small devices also. So let's see the responsiveness. So you can see that it is fully responsive for the small devices. I can see that it is animating so nicely. So when you click on search also, it will show the search. So you can see that it is looking perfectly fine for the small devices also, and it is fully responsive. So you can make it more small as you, and you can see that it's working totally fine, right? So you can check it out. I will upload the source code of this on our GitHub, and you can give a star if you like this beautiful landing page that you can see in my screen, right? So to build this we are going to use React, and for the type safety we are going to use TypeScript. So TypeScript also is a very easy thing, so don't worry, I'll explain you everything. So if you are new to our channel, please don't forget to subscribe us. We will first make a new folder and import your new folder in our VS Code. So I have made a new folder like blog on my desktop, and I have imported on my VS Code. After importing, what you have to do, open the terminal. You can click on this and you can open the terminal, and just in the terminal we have to run npm create with. So we are going to use tool named with. So this with, what it does, it install the React app for us. Not only the React framework and other framework also. So it is a very powerful tool to use. So you can use this and we can create our React app as soon as possible. So you can show that we have created our v tab, and it's asking for the project name. So we want to create our project in this blog folder only, so we can just press dot, so it will create here in our blog folder. Then we have to select the React framework, right, and press enter. Then we have to select the TypeScript, then press enter. After this we have to install the node modules. We can see that the node modules have been in your file, so we can just type npm I or npm install. You can see that here also the command npm install, so it will install the node modules. Then npm run dev, so to run our project. So after this we have to use the Lucid React for the icons. Let's explore the Lucid React. So Lucid React, so let's search for Lucid React. So let's go to the Lucid React website, and this is the official website of Lucid React, and you can see that using yarn, npm. So we are using npm, right? We can just copy it and install. And you can see that in the top we have an icon section. Click on the icon section and it will redirect you to the icon section. And after that you have to search menu icon. So you can see that the menu icon is appeared. So here you can see that the copy svg, or you can copy download as a png data url and copy jsx, right? So there are different options for this, and it is very flexible to use in your project. So let's see our vs code, and you can see that the node modules has been installed. So after that we have to run our project, npm run dev. So let's see our react app is running on the localhost 5174. So you can see that our react is working totally fine. So after that we have to install other packages. So we can install npm install, what we have to install, lucid react. Then after that, after lucid react we have to install framer motion, right? Let's press enter. So it will install the lucid react and framer motion in your website. And for the styling, you can see that the beautiful styling of your website, we can use the tailwind css. So let's use tailwind css. So go to the official website of the tailwind css and we'll find the get started button. Click on it to start and click on post css and select this command, right? And copy in your and paste it in your terminal. So it's still installing the lucid react and the framer motion in your package.json, right? So still you can see that no lucid react and the framer motion has been not installed, so it taking little time. So let's wait for that. So you can see that it has been successfully installed framer motion and the lucid react. Then whatever the command we copy from the tailwind website, we can just copy and paste it here. After that, let's go to the next step. So it's saying that post css.config.mjs. So you can create this file and write this configuration. So let's go to our terminal and we will write, we'll first create a post css dot config dot mjs. So you can write js also mjs, so both are for the different purpose. And now we can just copy the next command and paste it in your index.css. So it will import the tailwind css. So we are going to use tailwind css. Now we have to run. So let's run our npm run dev. So we will run our project and we will see our project is running on the localhost 5174. So you can see that let's change the data of, so go to App.tsx and rafc. This is the command. This is a, you can go to the extension install es7, just search es7 and you will find the extension and install that extension, right? This is the extension I am using for the snippet. So this is the react snippet. So after that, this is a div, right? So you can see that the app, the text app has been appeared. Now we have to see that our tailwind css has been installed or not. So we have to apply some tailwind css. So let's apply some classes, background blue 500. So let's see it has been applied, but the problem is it's not recommending my classes, right? So to do that, let's init our tailwind css. So init our npx tailwind css init. So it will initialize our tailwind css and it will create a tailwind config.js. You can see that it's saying that created a tailwind css config file, right? And in config file you have to copy and paste this configuration that I will give in my source code. So just copy and paste this configuration. So it's saying that it will apply to the all the folders in the source file, right? tsx, jsx and all the extension. So now you can see that before this box was not appearing. So bg blue, the box was not there before and no recommendation. So now when I'll type it, it will show me the recommendation. So let's type and see. So let's make it text white. So you can see that it's giving the Tailwind CSS classes recommendation, and we can just easily make our life easier. And you can see that the server is stopped, right? So you have to run our server again, and let's see. You can see that the text has been white. So whenever we will type something, it will recommend the classes like font. So you can see that a font, black, bold. So these are the Tailwind classes has been recommended. So we have set up our React with the Tailwind CSS, TypeScript and Lucy React and framework version. Now we are going to build our project. So to build our project, first we have to create a components folder where I'll create all the components. Let's create a component folder. So in components folder, we have to create a navbar. Like let's go to the our website. You can see that the in the landing page we have a navbar, hero section, feature section, recent post, categories and footer. So we have to create all these components, right? So let's start with creating navbar.tsx. See, and let's create a functional component for the navbar also. So let's create other components like categories dot tsx, and let's create a react arrow function, then feature post, then after feature post we have to create a footer.tsx, then we have to create another like hero.tsx, then we have another. So we have a recent posts.tsx. So and we have to create a reactor function for all these rfc footer section rfc. Then for the hero section we have rfc. So we have all these components. Let's close these components, and we have to use an, you can see that the icon on the top, you can see the blog landing page with the beautiful icon. So we have to import that icon in our assets folder. So let's import our icon in the assets folder. So we'll import it. So this icon will be provided on my source code, so don't worry. And we don't want a react.svg, so we can delete it. And let's go to the index.css, sorry, index.html. So here you can see the title like blog landing page. Then here you can change our icon, right? Dot slash. So dot slash we can use, and in the src we have assets, right? Then we have a 5 icon png. Let's see. So you can see that the blog landing page both are looking similar, right? And let's create our application. So first of all we start with the app.tsx. So here will be the control of our whole application. So let's write tip here, and first of all we import everything that we need. So here we can import like import motion. So from where we are going to import motion? From the framework motion, right? Similarly we have to import other things like import navbar. So from where? Components folder, right? Dot slash components slash navbar, right? So similarly we have to import everything. So I'm just imported everything like motion navbar, and it's saying that it's warning because of TypeScript. So navbar is declared but it's never used. So let's use this. So first of all, to use this, first of all we have to create a div. So we are going to create a motion div, not a normal div. So to apply the motion on your div, we have to use motion div, right? So let's create a motion div to use framer motion. So we have successfully created our motion div. So let's wrap up our all these things in the motion.div. So initially we have to apply some classes. So before applying classes, let's apply the animation like initial state. So what is the initial state of this? So we have to opacity 0. So we can make opacity 0. Then it's saying error, right? Opacity, oh sorry, we have used square bracket, we have used curly braces, right? So opacity 0, right? And after that we have to make the animate. So on animation we want to make opacity 1, right? And after that no need of comma here, and after that we can make another thing like exit. So before exit we can make transition, so no need of exit here, so you can use just transition here. So in transition we want duration of 0.5 seconds. So according to your needs we can customize it, then apply will class name for the tailwind CSS. So we'll apply minimum height, so it will take the height of the screen so that it will be responsive, right? So after that we have to make bg gray 500 or 50, we can take it 50, right? And let's see our application. So it's nothing because we have nothing to show, so it will show soon. So first of all in this we have to import our navbar. So you can see that we have imported our navbar. After navbar we have to create a main tag, and in this main tag we have to wrap up our everything like hero, and we have to just, we don't want opening and closing both the tags, just hero component. Then we want feature post, then we want recent post, then we want categories. So all these things we have been imported, then remaining with the footer, right? So let's import footer also. So we have imported everything. Then after that let's see our output. So you can see the navbar, feature post, recent post, category and footer, this all this text coming from their components. So you can see the categories have this text categories, so all this text coming from this part. So first of all we'll start with the navbar. So we'll first build the navbar. You can see that in the navbar we have a logo and the nav links and the search button. When I click on it, it will open an input box and close the input box, and also it will show a menu bar on the small devices. So when you go on the small devices, it will open a menu icon. So when I click and close it, the menu items. So to build this we are going to write the code for that. So let's go to the navbar component. So in the navbar component, first of all we import all the necessary things like import use state from React. After importing use state, so use state will track so that our search bar open is or not, or if our menu items are open or not. So to track that we are going to use use state. Now we have to import menu, so menu icon. So all these things coming from the menu icon will come from the Lucid React that we have seen here. So we can just import menu search, and we want cross icon from where Lucid React, right? Then we have to import motion from the framer motion and animate presence. I'll just copy and paste it here. So animate presence from the framer motion. So it's saying that all imports are declared are unused, so we are going to use. So now let's create the state for our menu icon, that if a menu icon is open or not, or if our search input is shown or not. So we are going to create a user state to track that state. So we have to create const, then we have to create, and the name of the variable is open, or we have to create a function also is open. Then we have to make the state, and initially we don't want to show, right? So we can make it a false. We don't want to show our menu to open. When a user will click, then only it will open. Then we have to create another for the show search, so it will show the search input, right? So let's create a function, set function show search. So it will be also false. So we don't want to show the search button initially. When a user will click, then it will show, right? So then a user will click, it will be true, right? So now let's create the nav item list also. So we are going to create a array where the all the items will be there. So like const nav items, then we have to create a array like home, then comma categories. So we can create as many you want categories, and we can create another like about. So these are the nav links. So just once we create it, we can use wherever we want in our this component. So we have created contact also, right? So now let's come for the return statement. So we can use the nav tag to create our nav. So in the nav tag, first of all, we have to create this nav tag with the toDips tag. So let's create a toDips tag, right? So first style the nav tag. So it will be fixed, right? Because our when you scroll it, it will be fixed. So you can see that it is totally fixed. The navbar is fixed on the top, right? So that we have used fixed. Then we can use top 0, right 0, left 0, right? So we can make it look good as we make our website beautiful. So you can see that we can write the z index also, then bg white, and we can decrease the color opacity. So backdrop, can use the backdrop for the blur, and these are the tailwind css classes, right? So and it will be medium, and border bottom, and we can use the border gray 100, right? Then we can see the output also in the right side. I am close other, so let's close this terminal also, and let's make it small, and let's see the result. So it will be good, right? So now we will see the deep tag. So let's create a class name. You can see the output on the right hand side. So For this we have to create a max width, how much we want, 7 XL, and max auto. Then we can write px padding 4, and we can add padding small greater than a small devices will be 6, and we can write for LG devices px 8. And for this div we can write the class name like flex, and we can write justify between, or we can use the item center to make it center, and we can write height 16. Then everything has been made responsiveness. Now we can write our tag. So you can see that in the background, you can see that the name background, you can see that the top, right? It's how it's looking beautiful. So let's create a div, and in this div we want to create a span, and in this span we write modern blog. So you can see that the text has been appear. So it's not looking good, so we have to make like this, right? So let's write the class name for that also. So let's write flex shrink, then flex shrink 0, then we have to write flex item centers, then we can write cursor pointer. So these are the simple CSS, and now you can see that the cursor has been pointer. Now let's style our text. So to style it we have to write text to XL. So you can see the changes right on the right hand side, text to XL. Then after applying to XL we have to make font bold, then we can write the BG gradient to right, and we can write from purple 600, and we can write to pink how much 600, and we can write, you can see that it is appearing on the background. So to apply on the text we can use bg clip text. This is an important class in the, so but it is not appearing, right? So true, so that we can use text transparent. So now you can see that it's looking so beautiful. So now let's create a navbar for the desktop. So to create that, come out of this, and we can write the comment also. So to comment you can press shift alt A, right? Now let's write desktop navigation. So let's write the code for that also. So we have to create a div, and in this div we have to map our items like nav items, that we have created, the array we have created before. So we have to map, right? And we have to map this item with this arrow function, and we can write like anchor tag. So let's write anchor tag, and in this anchor tag what we want to show, so we want to show items, right? So we can show item, right? And in this we can, when you are using map you always use a key, so key will be item. And then so you can see that the items have been appearing also, right? On the right hand side you can see the output also. And now we are going to style it, and currently the output is on the small devices, like it is in a small area. So we will show you the on the large area also. So first let's write the style for that. So href, so you can write href, so whenever user click and it will show. So we don't want href as of now, otherwise you can write href. So href, when you click on the home, it will go to the home section and all these things. And let's write the css classes for that. So to write the css classes, text gray 700, over we can write text purple, 600, and transition color right. And we don't want on click, so we have to apply on click on the icon, right, the menu icon. So let's see, you can see that still it's looking ugly, right? So let's fix that. So to fix that, we have to style our parent. So in the parent we have a div, right? We can write the class name hidden. So we don't want to show this on the small device, so it get hid. So and on the large devices it will show. So to show on the large devices, we can write just md flex. So you can see that it has been shown, right? See that the hovering, and we want the space and the item should be center. Item should be center, and space from the x, how much you want, you can write it, right? It's looking nice. And after this we can create a button on the right hand side, right, the search button. So to create the button, you can use a button tag, and in this button tag what we can show the search icon that we have imported, right, from the lucid.react. And in this we can apply the class name also. So for the search button, you can see that no search button is appear as of now. So we will write the css for that also. So let's write for the search. So for the class name we can write width 5, height 5, and we can write text gray will be 700. And let's write the class for the button, class name. And in this you can see that the button has been appeared now. So let's write for the class name for the button tag. So in the button tag we want padding to be 2, right, and hover, when user will hover then it will be bg gray, how much, it will be 100, and rounded full, and we can write transition color. And this all is good, but when a user will click, the input box will open. So we can write the on click event, right? So we can write on click. So on click, what do we want? We can create an arrow function, and we can add set what we can set show search. So search box will show, say search, it will be toggling, we have to toggle the variable. So you can use the this exclamation mark, right? And our code is not in the format, so we can write, we can click on format document, so it will format our document. So now it's looking nice. So we have to write the set function for that, and after that we can go for the mobile navigation. So for the mobile navigation we can similarly write the code for that also. So to write the code for the mobile navigation, we can first comment write shift alt a mobile navigation, and in this we can start the writing code for the mobile navigation. So how it will appear on the small device? So first of all, let's make it a small, right? We can make it a small, and now we can see the output also. on the right hand side. So let's create a div first of all, and in this div we want to show like search button, and then we can show the menu icon so that it will open the all the items. So first of all we'll style the navigation div class. So let's style our div class md hidden. So on the large devices and on the medium devices it will be hidden. The flex item center, then we have to create a button, and in this button what we want to show, like search. This is the search icon. Then we can apply the similarly class name for the search, width 5, height 5, and the text gray 700. So after that we have to apply the class name for the button, and so similarly we can apply the classes for the button, and when the user will click the show the search, right? So similarly we can apply the classes here also. So just I am going to copy paste the classes here. So you can see that we have a class name, padding to hover, and rounded full transition color, and the when a user will click it will show the search input, right? So we can create another button. So this is about the search, so we have to show the menu icon, right? Also you can see that the main search has been appear, right? You can see the hovering rounded a beautiful background, right? So we are going to show a button for the menu icon so that it will open the nav items. So in this button we can create the class name, and we can style this button. So first of all we'll write the class name. So padding to, then hover bg gray 100, and we can make rounded full, then we can make transition colors, right? Transition, we have written the wrong spelling, transition colors, right? Then after styling, like when a user will click on this button, right, it should be show the menu icon, and after showing it will show the cross icon to close the button. So we can write set on click set is open, right? And we can pass the variable that we have created above, and the function, this function will change toggle the menu icon, right? And it will show the nav items, right? You can write this, if it is open, is open, is open, okay? We can write the question mark. If it is open, what we want to show? So we can show the X. So if our menu is open, right, if our menu is open, it's showing the cross icon. When the menu is closed, it's showing the menu these three lines, right? And the when you open it, it will show the cross line. You understand, right? So to write the logic for that, we can write here, and we can write here like X. So this is the X. So this is the text gray 700, the cross icon. Then if it is menu icon, then what we want to show? So we can show the menu. So in this menu we can apply the classes. So you can see that the menu icon has been appeared. So classes. So we can write the class name for width 5, height 5, and bg gray 700, right? And let's, you can see that the bg gray 700, but we don't want bg gray, we want text gray 700, right? So now it's looking good. So when I click on this, you can see that it's toggling, right? So we have perfectly write the logic for that, but the nav items has been not shown. So to show that, we'll write the logic for that also. Let's format our document. So to write the logic for that, we can create a animate presence. So in animate presence, we have to animate, right? I will show you. When we click on this, it's animating. Our menu item has been animating. So to apply this, we can use animate presence, and in this, what we are going to pass. So if it's showing, so search. So we first apply the animation on the search. So when you click on the search button, right, so it will show the search input. So let's write the logic for that. So like motion div, this is a not a normal div, this is a motion div, and in this, when a user will click, it will show the input box. So we can create a input box, right? So let's create a input box. Input, input, and in this input type will be text, right? And we can write just placeholder, and in the placeholder search articles, right? After that, we can add class name, and in this class name we can write like width full, and we can write padding from x is 4, padding from y is 2, and rounded lg, and we can write border. So we can apply the border also, and border color also border gray. So border gray will be 200, and focus, and user will click on the input box, it will be ring 2, right? And focus ring purple 600. So we can apply the classes as we need, right? And we can apply the on the focus one more thing, like when we focus on it, so it will be border transparent. So as we need, we can apply the classes. So you can see that when you focus, you can see, and when you click on close, it will close. When you click on open, it will open. But you can see that the animation we have not applied, so it's showing very drastically. So we have to show the smooth animation. So to apply the smooth animation, we can apply the animation in our motion div, right? In the motion div, what we want to write, so in this we want to write initial. So initially what will be the state, right? So in this we want to show height 0, like height 0, and opacity will be 0, right? Then we have to animate. This is the framework motion. See how it is easy to apply. So we can apply height auto, so it will automatically take the height, and opacity will be 1. Then we have to exit, right? Height 0, opacity 0, and we have to apply the class name if it is overflow, like when you click, and if it is overflow, you can see that the animation. So how cool animation, right? So before it was drastically coming and going, right? And even if it is overflow, it will be hidden, right? And now you can see that the search button is working totally fine, but the navbar we have to fix. When you click on this, it will show the nav items. So to make that nav items, and you can see that we can apply the padding on the input also as we need, but let's go for the mobile menu items. So to apply on that, let's go to out of this div and we can apply animate presence here. So for the mobile menu, so like first comment right mobile menu, and in this we want to show the our menu items when we click on this icon, right? And let's write animate presence, and in this we have to create similarly is open, like is show search, like similarly is open. If it is open, we want to show our items. So let's show our items. So in this we will create a motion div to apply the motion also on our items when user will click on it. So let's write the motion div, motion dot div, and in this we are going to show our nav item. So we have to create a div, and in this div we want to show our nav item. So similarly in neighbor we have map each item using map function, right? So let's map so items, then we can show a anchor tag like, and in this anchor tag we can show the item, right? And when we let's click on it and see it is open or not. See, when you click on it, it's showing the item menu item, see, but it's looking ugly. Let's style. So to style that, we can first style our motion. So let's apply the motion on it. So to apply motion, we can write the first initial state. So what is the initial state for that? So opacity will be 0. So opacity becomes 0, and y in y it will be -10, right? And let's write for the animate. So how it will animate? Initially will be minus, in y there is -10, so it will not show. So it will, how it will come, how it will animate, right? So we can make opacity equal to 1, right? And we can write the y 0, so it will show, right? So now it will show the items. So when I click on it, it will show the item, see, and it is animating also, but still it's looking ugly. So just applying animation, it will not show. So we have to apply the classes, telling classes to look good, right? So first apply, and first we have to exit from this. So we can make -10. When we close on it, it will close and it will not show. Then y -10, and it will be hidden on the medium devices. So we can write the classes like md hidden, right? Now let's style. So to style, we have to write the class name, and in this class name, so first let's show, and let's write the class name px2, and padding from top it will 2, padding from bottom we can write 3, space, in the space we can write like 1, we can make it. So you can see that the space, you can see the output on the right hand side, and white, and bg white we can write bg white, and we can apply also border bottom. On the bottom you can see that the border has been applied, and we have to change the border gray, the color, right, 100, right? Now it's looking cool. And let's apply the classes on the items. So all the tags, it will be block, and you can see that it's appearing in the column wise, px3, padding from y2, and rounded md, Then we can apply text gray, we can apply 700, and we can apply hover. So whenever anyone hover, it will show a purple color, purple 700, and we can apply 600 as we need, and we can write the hover for the BG. So background will be gray and it will be 50, and we can apply the transition on the color, transition color, right? So you can see that the hovering effect, right? And the background, you can see that the gray background, when we click on it, it will hover. So you can see that, but the mouse should be cursor pointer, right? So to apply the cursor pointer, just go to the this menu icon. We can apply cursor pointer on the button, right? So cursor pointer. So let's see. So let's click on it. So still it's not showing the cursor pointer. Why it's not showing cursor pointer? Sorry, we have misspelled the spelling. So you can see that now it's showing because we have written the wrong spelling of the cursor. So now it's showing cool, right? Animating all the nav items, and it's opening and closing, and the search bar also is showing, looking cool, right? So let's go for the next part. So in the next part we have this beautiful hero section with a beautiful background. You can see in the background some purple colors, right? Pink colors, right? And we have a beautiful text, right? And we can apply these buttons also with the animation. So we'll see the hero section. So now come for the hero section. So in the hero, go to the hero component, right? And let's see. So we have to create our hero component. So let's make it small, so it will show the output also on the right hand side, so that you can see the real-time results. So first import all the requirements like motion. So we can apply the motion, right, using framer motion. So we have imported the motion and the arrow right. You can see that the right arrow on this button on the read latest. So to apply that arrow, we can use arrow right. Right now we have to return some JSX, right? So in this we can write div. So we can apply first. We'll apply the class name relative, and we can write the minimum height screen to make it responsive on the different screens, and flex item center. Then we can make justify center, and we can write overflow hidden, and also we can write the background gradient to, we can write background gradient to border bottom right, we can write border right, and from purple to from purple 50 to, we can write to pink 50, and we can apply other, like you can see that in the background purple, right? It has been changed, right? And now let's create another D for the all the animation for our text. So first we will create the animation for our D. So first style class name, we can apply the position absolute, right? absolute, and we can write insert 0 and overflow hidden, and then we can create another div, and in this div we can write like class name absolute, and we can write minus insert 0, and we can write the 10 pixel, so we can make it 10 pixel, like, and then we can make the opacity will be 50. Here is our 50, and then we have to apply on the three things like this text, this below text, and the buttons, right? So to apply the framer motion on this, we can use the framer motion classes with the transition style and all these things. So I'll show you, I'll just show you the I have already written the code, so I'll just copy and paste it here, and also so here, from here we have written the array dot 3. So for the three items we have to map the three items, the spread operator, and it will apply the motion on this div, and when we are using map function we have used the key, and on this key we have a absolute and rounded full, and after that, see, before our background was not something like this, so let's remove it. So when you remove it, the background is looking little white, so when you apply on it, so you can see the background has been some pinkish color. So to apply that color we have used the style. So in the style, height, left, width, top, background color from this color code, so this all these things, so for the three items we have used, and we have applied the transition also for the duration 10 second, repeat infinity, and we have applied the animation for the x, y axis and y direction, and we have to scale right in both of the things, so it will not be shown when you come, and it will show the output on your desktop. So go and run it and see the changes. So now we will see next part. So after applying the background color on this hero section, we are going to write the code for the contact section. So in the contact section, let's write the contact section. First we'll comment content. So what are the things in the comment? So in the contents, the things are heading, then we have a text, then the two buttons, right? So we are going to build this. So let's create a div, and in this div, first we'll create a motion div. So let's create a motion div, motion.div. So after creating this motion div, we have to create a h1 tag, and in h1 tag we have to write explore expiring ideas and stories. So here you can write it. Then we have to create a paragraph tag, and in that paragraph tag we have to write like something like this text, and this heading should be in h1 tag, right? And after that you can see that the heading appearing on the top, but we have to style it to look in the mid, right? So let's style first. So let's first write the class name for the parent div. So we can write relative and z10, then we can write maximum width, how much you can write 7xl, mx auto, mx auto, then we can write padding x4, then a small padding x6, and large devices padding x8, right? Similarly we can write text should be center, right? After that we can write the animation for the this div. So to write, so first write initial state. So initial it will be opacity will be 0 and y 20, right? And then animate. So how we are going to, opacity will be 1 or and y will be 0. Then we have to write transition duration 8, and you can write easy now, or we can just remove it also. So write according to your needs. So let's, so still our text has been not appeared, so let's write the class for the heading. So for the heading we write the class name text 5xl. Then you can see that the text has been 5xl. Then we can add on the medium devices text will be 7xl, right? And above that devices, right? And we can write the font will be bold, and you can see the output on the right hand side of the screen. And we can write the margin button 5, and the bg gradient will be from to right. And we can write like from pink 700, or we can write 600 according to your look and feel of your website. And to pink we can write 600. And then we can write bg text clip, and we can write text transparent. So why it disappear? So we can write like bg gradient to from pink 600. So we don't have the pink, it should be purple, right? And to pink 600, and we can add. So here our text had been disappear, right? So let's fix this. So here bg gradient, so gradient spelling is wrong, so you can add the bg gradient, and you can see that the gradient had been appeared, but here the bg text clip. So we have to write bg clip text, not text clip, right? So bg clip text, then it will show the text with the beautiful text. You can see that the background colors, right? Now we can write the paragraph styling. So we can write class name, and in this class name we can write text excel, and md text will be 2xl. And then we can write text color will be gray with the 600 opacity. Then we can the margin bottom 6. Then we can write max with 3xl, and we can write mx auto. Then it's looking perfect, right? But this heading is hiding, so we will fix that also. So after this motion div we have to create a buttons. So let's create a div tag, and in this div tag we have a motion button. So we have to apply the button motion, right? Motion button. After creating motion button, in this what we have to do, we have to write read latest, and you can see that, but it is not looking good. So let's style it. So in style write class name flex, then flex call, then sm flex will be, so you can write flex, it will automatically take a row, otherwise you can write flex row. And we can like gap 4, and we can justify center. So now let's animate. So to animate, similarly we can write the other properties, like while hover, when user will hover, the scale will be 1.05, and while tap, the scale will be 0.95. And then we have added the class in padding from the y and x background. So the similar background that we use for that is the similar background for this also. And now we can go for creating other button, but before that we have to write the arrow button, right? So here you can create your arrow button, arrow, right? So you can see that it's looking totally fine, and we can apply the group hovering and all these things for the this arrow button also. So you can write the group hover translation x. So you can see that it is applied on the icon also. Now we have another button. So similarly we can create a same button, but we have to change the style of that button. So let's categories, and let's import it. So we will copy the same style and paste it here. So here you can see that the button, but it's looking ugly, right? Because we have made out of this div, right? So let's write in this div only. So now it's looking totally fine. Just we have to remove the background to transparent, right? And here background have some purple and the pink. But the problem was that your text has been not appearing good, because here you can see that it is in center. So because we have to move this below div, and we have to move this div to here. So now it will show. So we have included our content inside that div, so we have to make out of this div. So now it's looking good, right? So you can see that the same thing we have created, but the one thing is missing, the font. So to apply the font, just go on the Google Fonts. So let's search on Google Fonts. So here you can write Montserrat. So you can see that the this font I am going to select, and it can select get font, and you can use get embedded code, and we can use for the web import. And here you can copy the import and come to our index.css. Here we have a index.css, and on the top we are going to paste our import. After this we have to apply the, you can see that it has not been applied, right? See, this font is different, this font is different. So to apply the font, we can write the star font, and what will be the font? Font will be Poppins and sans serif. So let's apply the font. So when you apply the font, let's see the font has been changed. So before I will show you. So when we remove this font, see how it's look, the look and feel, and when you apply the font, the look and feel has been changed. So this is how we can apply the font, right? Now we will see the other section, like feature stories. In feature stories we have this heading, the paragraph, and the beautiful cards with this tags like technology and the share button. Then we have this heading and the paragraph and the read more button, and just we have to change the content for this other cards, right? But every card is looking very similar, just the content we have to change. So let's see our feature post. So let's go to the feature component. In feature post, first of all we will import whatever the needs, like framer motion, right, and the icons. So what are the icons? We have a share icon and the arrow, right? This share icon, right, when you hover in the share icon, and the read mode button, with the read mode button we have a arrow icon, right? So we are going to import it. Then I have already created data for this, like technology, this text, and this all these things, like three cards. We have some different headings, paragraphs, right? So for that we have to create a data. So I have created already an array of an object. I'm just going to copy and paste. You will find this all this data on my source code. So go and check out my GitHub and get the source code, and please give a star and the follow on my GitHub account. So now we are imported the feature post. So all this data, and each post have a unique ID. So we are going to use this ID and we have to map this all this data. So title, and we have the paragraph, and the category is technology, and the image we have used unslash image, right? Now we have created similarly for the three object. So three cards we have means three object. So just we have to change the data. Now after applying this, we have to go to the feature post. So let's open our server. So here in our server feature post we have to edit. So first let's create a div, and in this div let's create a feature. So we'll format the document. Now we will create the feature post. So in this feature post, first of all, not div, we can use section also. So we can create a section tag, and in this section tag we are going to create the divs. So how many divs we want? So 1, 2, and we have to create a heading inside this for the feature. You can see that in the heading we have a above feature storage, then we have a this text, and we have a beautiful background also. So we will build this also. So let's write code for the. So first we will write the feature post, right? And you can see that the text feature post. Let's style all these things. So first of all we have to make the section responsive. So we have to write all the tailwind classes, right? So we have to write padding from the y, we can write 20, and we can make background white. Then for this div, and you can see that the padding has been applied, right? Padding 20 from the y and the background white. So you can see the output on the right hand side, class name, and we can make it little small, right? Class name, and in this class name I have to apply the maximum weight to make it responsive 7xl and mx auto. Then we can write padding x4. Then we can write a small greater than a small padding 6, and for the large devices the same classes we have used before also, so you can use that class. And for this div we can use like class name. In this we can write text should be center, and we can write margin from the bottom like 12, right? Now it's looking good. Now let's style our heading text, and in this heading text we have a text of size 3xl, and then we have a md for the medium devices, and the above that devices we want to show some other text size, like we want to show 4xl larger text. So we are making a responsive for other devices also. So you can write font should be bold. So you can see how cool it is look. So margin from bottom you can write like 4, and the bg gradient, and we can write to right or bottom, so I am going to write, and we have to write similar that we have used like purple will be 600, and we can write to pink, we can write here also 600, and then we can write bg clip text, right, bg clip text, and then we have to write text transparent, and now our future posts will look this heading so cool, right? Then we have to create a paragraph, so we will create a paragraph tag. So in this paragraph we have to write our text. So I am going to copy the text from this our already running website. So I have already made this, I'm going to copy this, and now let's see our result. So you can see that in our running server we have this text, but we are going to style it also. So to style it, we can write text color text gray 2, we can write like 600, and we can write max width, we have 2 xl, and then we can write mx auto, right? Then after that it's looking cool, right? Then whatever the remaining things we have, these cards. So once we created one card, we just map over this all this data that we have created above the array of object. This is the power of React. So we will use the power of React. So first of all, to do that, we have to go to the create a div first. So we'll create a div, and in this div we have to, let's write cards, right? We are going to create the cards. Then in this we have to create a div. In this div, let's create a feature post. So we have to map all the feature post. So dot map, so we will map over the every post. So we have to map the data, right? And in this we want to show the motion, so we will use motion dot article. So we have to using article tag, we are using article tag, so that's why we have to write motion dot article, right? And in this we are going to show a div, and in this div I am going to show the image, and image we have to pass the post dot image, post dot image, right? And the in the text we can write like, let's see, the still have some issue, so we'll fix that. So in the text, alt text we can write like any text. If our type the image will not appear, then we have to write like image post dot title, we can write post dot title, right? Now let's see the image. We can see the image, all the image has been mapped. So three images that we have used, that all three images had been mapped. Now we have to make these beautiful cards, right? So we will design that also. So after image, what we have to do, we have to create a div, another div, and in this div what we are going to issue categories. So create a span, and in a span we can write like post dot category, right? And it will show the category like technology, but we have to style this on the top here, right? You can see the technology on the top, we are going to see everything, right? And after this category, after this div, we can create a button. So we have a button, right? Share button. You see that the share button, when we hover on it, it on the cards, then it will appear. So after that we have to create the button. So in the button we have a share icon, so we can write share, right? Share, so that we have imported this share to icon, and in this we are going to style, but first we get all this data, then we will style later. So after this button, and out of this div we have a to create a div, another div, and in this div we are going to show our content, and in this we will write all the content, like we have a heading text, the paragraph text, and the read more button, right? So to create that, we have created a div, and in this div we have created a h3 tag, and in h3 tag what we want to show, post.title. So in curly braces we are going to write title, but because we are writing javascript here, and you can see that the post title will be appear the future of AI in everyday life. So this is the power of map function. Now out of this h3 we have to create a paragraph also, and we have to write post dot excerpt, so for the paragraph text. And after that we have a button also, right? We have a button after this paragraph, so we'll create a button, and in this button we have a read more, right? And in this we have a arrow icon, right? We have a arrow icon, so we can import the arrow icon like arrow, right? And we can use it here. So let's see. So all the data has been imported, but it's looking ugly. Let's use the power of telemetry CSS and style like this. So let's use the power of telemetry CSS. So first of all we start with the this card div. So in this div, first of all we have to make the responsiveness for this card. So we can use flex also, but the grid is more likely used, so I am going to use grid. So grid on the medium devices, grid will be column 2, and for the large devices I am going to show you the grid of length column 3, and then it will be gap 3, right? So you can see that, and let's write the code for the article animation. So first of all we have to write the key. So in this we are using map function to always use a key like post.id, and then after that we have to write the initial, right? Initial, and in this initial we have to pass opacity. So opacity will be 0, and in the y we can write 20, and you can see that this is not appearing, right? We will fix that. So after writing this code, initial and while view, when while in view, right? We can make initially opacity here we have made 0, right? That's why our feature section is not showing, right? So when we are viewing, right, opacity will be 1, right? Opacity will be 1, right? And we can make y0. Now it will show. So let's see. So it is showing right now, right? And then we can apply viewport, and in this viewport we can write like once true. So it will be once true, and while hover, when we hover on it, what will happen? Y minus 5. So we can just go and hover and check. See, y minus 5, it's coming in upper direction, in y direction, right? Now let's style this table. So in this div we can write a relative, but before that we have to style that article also, right? Class name we have not styled our article tag. So bg wide, then we can write like rounded excel and shadow lg, and then we can write like overflow hidden, and then we can add group. right? See how we are looking with our card. You can see that the hovering animation and the curve rounded, right? Now let's style our this relative. The div will be relative, position will be relative, and then we can write like overflow hidden. Then come for the image. So we are going to style our image. So style our image. Let's write the class name for that. Class name, and we can write class name like bg. Otherwise you can write first full width will be full, right, for our images. Then we can write height like 48. Then we can write like object, any object over, right, object cover, so it will show the whole image and will cover all the areas. So you can see that before the height was full but the image has been stretched, it is not looking so good. So this is the tailwind CSS, and you can see that now it's looking good, right? Object cover, and then we can write like transform. Then we can group with the hover, and we can hover like scale, how much we want scale. So we can write scale like 105, and we can write transition, and in this transition we can write transform, and duration will be, we can write like 300. Okay, and you can see that the hovering, it's going up and down, and it is scaling also, right? How cool, right? And after installing our image we can go for the another. So here is a div, so you can style here this div also. In this div position is absolute, and we can write top 4. From the top it will be 4. You can see that when I write top 4 the technology text gone up, right? See, I will remove this first. The technology text is in down, so when I top 4 the technology text has gone on the top of the image, right? Top 4 and left 4, right? And from the left it will be 4. Now style is expanded. In this expanded we have a category, right? So we are styling our categories. So px will be 3, padding from the x, padding from the y will be 1, and bg white, right? So in the bg white it will be 90, right? So, and we can write backdrop blur like backdrop blur, and we can write like small, right? And we can write text purple, we can write it for 600, and text sm, and then we can apply font medium. Then we can apply rounded will be full, right? So we can write rounded, not bottom only, it will be all the sides, it will be full. So now it's looking cool, right? Now we have to style this share button, right? To style our share button we go to the button. Let's apply class name for this also. Then we have to write absolute position for this also. Then we can write the top 4 and the left. Otherwise we have to put in right side, like we can write 4, and we can write padding 2, and we can change the color, right? First we'll write the background bg white 90, and backdrop blur, we can add sm rounded full, rounded full, and then we can write like opacity 0. Then we can write, see, opacity has been 0 because we want to share a button when the user will hover, right? So we can write group hover, right? Group hover, when we hover on it, opacity will be like 100. We can write 100. So you can select 100 from here, and transition will be opacity. Then you can see that when you hover on it, then the our search share button will appear, right? And we can set the class name for the share button like height and width 4, and we can write text gray will be 600. So now it's looking cool, right? Now we can go for the other section, like we have a heading, right? It's not looking good, and the is text and read more button. So we are going to style these things also. So to style that, we are going to apply the class name for this div. In the class name we can use padding 6, so it will take the space. Now it is looking cool, right? Now we can apply for the heading text excel. Then we can write font bold. Then we can write margin from the bottom like 2, and the text gray will be 900, right? Now it's looking cool. Now let's apply on the paragraph. So let's style our paragraph. In the paragraph we have a text gray will be 600, and we can margin from the bottom will be 4. Now looking cool, right? Then we can apply class on the button. Let's style our button inline flex. Then we can write item center, then text purple, and this text purple will be 600, and we can write font medium. Then we can write group button, and after that we have a arrow right. We can apply class name like arrow right. On the arrow right we can write width 4, height 4, margin left 2, then group hover button, and on this we can translate to like x-axis in 1, and transition like transform. So when you hover on it, see transition on the button, see, looking cool, right? And we can apply the like cursor pointer. So now it's looking cool, right? So we have styled our this card also, right? It's looking cool, right? So after styling our card, we have to create a recent post categories and a footer. These three sections, this recent post and categories will be very easy, and we can create this footer also. So we will see these three things in the next tutorial, the next part of this video. So if you guys like this project, we'll meet in next part of this tutorial with the remaining section like category, recent post and the footer. So thank you.